Welcome to the show, Isheeba. You are an international singer-songwriter, best known for featuring on Pete Townshend's Brand New Life. You're also featured on Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. You've accompanied The Who, Eric Clapton on world tours. You've performed with B.B. King, Keith Richards, all kinds of acts. It's fantastic to have you with us. There's so much to talk with you about, not just music. It's brilliant to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do tell us more.
Thank you so much. My career started very, very young when I, started singing in the church growing up. And when I left school at 15, well, I left home at 15 actually, I really realized that singing was my life. And I was very just fortunate. I think it's a law of attraction. I think when you really want to do something, the right things just come to you in life. And I just started to work with these phenomenal people and started just touring around the world and, being featured on albums and being asked to do duets like with Pete Townsend. And I mean, The Who was one of the most massive things I've ever been involved with in my entire life. They were playing stadiums of like 250,000 people a night. We were police escorted on and off stage. We flew around on private jets. I mean, I'm wretchedly spoiled because I sort of had all of this lifestyle really quite young. And and the thing was that I realized very early that the music industry, a lot of people that I knew were dying off very early. There was lots of it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll basically. And I realized that there was more to it than this. And it was when I toured with Eric Clapton I worked on his Pilgrim album in the studio for 1 year. And then I went on tour with him for 1 year. And it was after that, because I'd suffered with chronic lower back problems, my journey of sort of self-healing and health and wellness started to take shape. So I started having Alexander lessons because of my back pain, and my teacher encouraged me to become an Alexander teacher, and that was the turning point. So I decided to give, my music and my modeling career a little break and study the Alexander technique for 3 years. And it was during that time I basically came up with the concept of how to master the art of wearing high heels, because I wanted to get back into my high heels. So I used the technique of balance and movement that the Alexander teaches to combine to walk in my heels. So after 3 years, I was back in my heels, wearing my heels all night, all day. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. If this can work for me, can this work for other women? So I started to run little workshops, and it was working. It was doing what it said on the tin. So the next minute I knew I was on GMTV, and the next minute I was traveling around the world teaching women how to strut their stuff in high heels with the use of the Alexander technique. So that was really wonderful. And of course, my back was way better. And I was obviously seeing people also that had, scoliosis or degenerative bone conditions and spinal injuries and all sorts of things. And then I just sort of thought, right, what's the next step? Now, yoga was something that I always did as my go-to. And my yoga teachers always encouraged me to become a yoga teacher. But at that time, I wasn't interested. And I thought, well, what would combine itself beautifully with the Alexander technique as well? Yoga. So I decided to study Kemetic yoga. I went to Jamaica and studied Kemetic yoga. And after studying that, I started giving classes and I started building retreats in Jamaica. And because now I'm at a stage where my health is really good, I'm very flexible. I don't have no back pain, no shoulder pains, health issues. I live in a very holistic way and I have a lot of fun. I now combine my music, arts and entertainment and well-being as a package now that I can bring to the world to let people know that it's actually possible to be in this world of music, entertainment and music for global change and also be well at the same time.
Yeah.
I love that. I love hearing music for global change. I can't tell you how good that feels when you say that, because it's connected to all of it, right?
Yes.
You know, not just playing music, but feeling good too. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes,
And
because
go ahead. I mean, I like your approach, you know, and because you know, people don't know that it's damn near gymnastics when you got choreography and all kind of stuff going on, right? You better stretch and get yourself together before you know, a lot of people get, you know, injured like that because they just jump out there. I'm ready to go, right? No, you
you're
let's
not.
walk
And
up.
and also, let's face it, we have you know, our lifestyle. Most of the times people are in bed. We're traveling up the motorway or we're traveling on a jet to get to the next venue.
Mm.
When we get to the next venue, there's very little time to organize ourselves because it's like, okay, there might be interviews to do and let's go have something to eat. And you're on stage that night. You're
Right.
tired. You've flown through time zones. You know, you might be feeling stiff from the journey, just being on the flight, you know, not feeling good in your back. There's all sorts of things that's going on. So normally people will end up taking substances just to keep them going
Of
because the
course.
human body just says,
Yeah.
do you know what? I'm tired tonight and I can't actually perform. And then it's like, well, I'll just take some of this or I'll take some of that. And then you go out there, you have an experience of like, wow, euphoria. And then it's like, again, the next night, oh, well, I'll take some of this and I'll take some of that, or I'll just drink some more alcohol, whatever it is. And it's like, what about being able to just pull up our natural energy that we have innately within us? How does that look? What does that look like to be able to maybe meditate before a show?
Yeah.
Breathe, learn to breathe, sit and maybe do a few stretches where you can release the tension out of the body so that the body frees itself, the voice comes up. You know,
Yeah.
the body can move with much more grace and ease because the tension is less. What does it look like to have more of a peace of mind? You're going, okay, we all know that when we're on stage, nothing in the world matters. That you're
Right.
just in a purple haze. And it's when you come off after, you
Yeah.
realize that you've mashed up your back or you've mashed up your knee because something happens to us when we're on stage. We're
Oh,
not
yeah.
even, we become superhuman almost, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
any ailments that we have, they just seem to just disappear. Voice problems, they just disappear. And then it's afterwards we're like, oh my God, I cannot move. My back is mashed up. My knee is
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I've got a splitting headache. I feel ill. I'm exhausted. So my question is, what would it look like to be able to go on a holistic approach to the lifestyle that we lead as artists? What would that look like?
Well, you pretty much explained it right there, how it looks. You know what I mean? I mean, imagine feeling good, you know, every night. See now, you know, I've been on tour too, so I know how that works, right? And people think it's all glamour and glory, and no, it's work, right?
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're playing China tonight, and pack up and leave in the morning, and then by the time you get to the hotel, you better take a little nap before you go to your, you know, to eat. And it's a job.
It's a job. And the thing is, people from the outside, when they see actors and artists and us living, they just think, wow, I want to live that. You know, they think that we have no problems in the world and it's just the most glamorous.
Right.
Listen, you have to be fit for the job. If you're not fit for the job, you're not going to go the distance. This is why a lot of us artists end up dying so young.
Well, especially singers, because we can't plug our vocals into the wall.
No, no.
Okay. So if you're tired, you're going to sound tired.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Absolutely.
you got, like I take a nap from 2 to 4:30 every day. Right. I shut down.
Yeah.
You know, and after my heart attack, you know, he's like, yeah, my doctor said, take more naps and relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and it's a beautiful thing because you rejuvenate. But
Yes.
you know, when I had kids with my kids, right, and I had to get up in the morning, like I was playing nightclubs till about 1:30 at night. So if I got to travel, I'll probably get home about 3. And you can't go straight to sleep.
No.
You've been jumping around on the stage. You got
Yes.
too much
Hyper.
energy.
Got to
Right?
wind down, haven't you? Yeah.
So I got to watch one of them old movies, put them on. Hey Mac, yeah, all them old, them old movies. I got to put those in. That calms me down, right? I just go to sleep. But then I got to get up again at 7 because I got to take my kids to school. So I wasn't getting no sleep. You know what I mean?
It's
5
crazy.
hours a day or something like that. When you're out there on, and you got your energy's got to be up. You got to make people believe that when you're singing that song, you're singing it to them for the first time, even though they got the record. That's what they want to feel like, right?
That's right.
She looked at me and sang that song directly to me.
Mm.
That's why I paid to come see her do that. Right?
That's absolutely right. And the thing about it, like you said, Skyler, it's like if we could just plug ourselves into an amplifier, it's slightly different energy. When you're vocal and physically from your body, physically from your emotion, physically from your mind space, that's a whole nother world in itself. People need to realize and deep the intensity of this thing, which is why it's vital for us as artists, singers, more importantly, to rest, like you said, sleep, eat well, have a mental balance, cut down on the alcohol, cut down on the smoking, all of the things that we get. And I think this is where, you spoke about even after we finished the show, how high we feel that you can't just come off stage and go to sleep. This is why after parties were designed. Because the after party, when you go to the after party now, you can still, kind of party and get yourself to wind down a little bit. And then you hit that point of like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning where it's like, that's it, I've just got to go and sleep now. And it's like someone's hit you over the head with a sledgehammer. It's like, right, I'm out of here. And you go home and you sleep. But then the next day, it's like you're playing catch up on the amount of energy that was
yesterday
on that stage yesterday.
Yeah. It's a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I've just off that point there, just wanted to commend you really on the fact I've had a little look at your website and the different things that you offer there, and kind of you're organizing, I believe, a Jamaican retreat is something that you're doing. There's loads to it. Can you tell us a little bit about the wellness aspect as to what you offer in these kind of events and the sort of things that you do whilst you're there?
Sure, Tom. The reason why I set up yoga retreats in Jamaica was to give people a slice of the Caribbean. Now, to be able to literally have a fresh coconut cut from a tree and drink that coconut water and eat the meat inside is a totally different experience than going to our supermarket and getting it from a box.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
To be able to swim in beautiful waters where the water is so crystal blue and clear that you can see little fish, and it just feels like nectar on your skin is an experience that we need to have. To be able to have the sunshine on our skin like 24/7, and even if it rains in between, to feel what it feels like to have that energy of rainwater that's so pure and clean, and then the sun just comes out and dries everything up and just kisses our body. It's what we need to experience, and that to me is a part of a wellness. And so that was one of the reasons why I set it up in Jamaica, to have that bridge where people can come and literally experience a slice of paradise, because that's exactly what it is. And to be able to stretch, do yoga classes, eat the fresh organic foods, sleep in a climate that's just warm and hugging and loving and nurturing, be around a culture that's rootsy and giving somebody like a real sense of ancestral history and a sense of coming from somewhere of some substance. These are the things that take place at my retreats. And people get completely rejuvenated because they can really actually let go. They can breathe. They can eat some beautiful food. They can be around, the best ganja, if that's what they're into. And to me, ganja is something that is a natural plant. So that's another conversation within itself. And, again, people use the two as a form of relaxation, whatever you're into. and to heighten your mind spiritually. But you know, the whole rejuvenation aspect of my yoga retreats is very well worth checking out if that's what you're looking for, complete rejuvenation. And of course, when you have, you know, there's Alexander technique, you have that to relieve any neck, shoulder, back problems. You've got yoga twice a day. We go out on an excursion to St. Thomas Baths. St. Thomas Baths is an ancient place that's in the hills. And you basically go there and the water that comes out of the rocks are hot. And I have a massage team down there and they massage you on the rocks. And then I have a, you know, and then you bathe in hot waters, and then nature's made a cooling pool that you go into the cool. People spend thousands to get this at spas. This nature has made this for us. And then I have a team, a chef that comes with his team, and we cooks Jamaican food for us on the river itself. And then we eat, and then we go back. I mean, the whole experience is well thought out from start to finish. And people come away 1,000,000% rejuvenated and have a falling in love experience with Jamaica. I would recommend it for all of us. And then at the end, because obviously I'm an artist, I will close the whole event with a live performance. And again, I think at that point, for most part, people, for those who know that I'm an artist, will be like, wow, yeah, you know, Isheba's performing. And for some people who don't really know me from the artist standpoint, they know me from the holistic health standpoint. They always just like, oh, they get blown away. They go, oh my God.
It sounds like a beautiful experience, right?
It really is.
You know what I mean? Music and wellness. Come on, that's the coolest thing right there. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the privilege of your time. And Tom will get all your information so we can post you right, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks for joining me.
Tom, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
No problem. Well. What we'll do, I'll put your website link. If you just want to just shout out your website link here on the channel here, but I'll put all the links at the bottom as well for you.
Thank you so much. So it's www.Isheeba, that's S for sugar, H for Harry, E for elephant, B for Bravo, A for apple, at Isheeba, again, Whyne, WHYNE.com. So Isheeba at Isheeba Whyne, which is WHYNE.com. Isheeba at IsheebaWhyne.com.
Brilliant stuff.
Beautiful. I heard you got that great song. I love that song you did.
Oh, I've just written a masterpiece, and it's basically a maroon anthem.
Yeah.
There's never been one, and I've really written it for the maroon tribes, and it's a global hit actually. I mean, I'm just literally going to get the mix back in the next couple of days. I've had somebody in Jamaica mix it for me. Shall I sing a little bit of it for you?
Do it.
All right, so it goes, I am a maroon, can't you see the color of my skin? Said I love the skin I'm in. How when we still a win, stand up as a maroon and let the show begin. Nobody can hold us down. They can't stop us now. They can't stop us now. Nobody can hold us down. They can't stop us now. Oh.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for that.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's going to be everywhere now. See,
it is.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, sister. Thank you for coming on the show. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Skyler. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Much love.
Ashe.
Okay.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.